So, so you're telling me that the stem wave thing is actually working?
Yes, and very well,
Okay.
because I have a patient of mine, like I said, he's been a patient of mine for 30 years, and he comes in for chiropractic on a regular basis. And he had bad knees over a period of time period. He injured one knee and had a meniscal problem, and then we lasered it and we did other things, and it just never got any better. So he had to have it replaced. And in the process, after replacement, up to 2 years, he was like in misery. He says it's just so much discomfort. He was taking medication just to help the pain. And then finally, it went away about 3 months ago. And then, but his other knee is also bad, and he did not want to go through that again with surgery.
Yeah.
So I told him about the StemWave machine, which I just recently got like 2 weeks prior to that. So he says, I want to do it. So we gave him a treatment. We mapped the areas out in his knee, and he was feeling the sensitive spots, which is what, the
Yeah.
inflammatory areas. He felt those.
Right.
And then after the treatment was done, he gets off the table and he's walking a little bit and says, it feels stronger. It feels like warm inside there. I says, good. Let's just see. He was due for an adjustment, I think, the following week. So I said, let's just see how the week goes. Tell me when you get in how it was. So I walk into the treatment room a week later. He's sitting down and I'm looking at him. I says, well, how do you feel now? He says, I'm in no pain. I says, what do you mean you're in no pain? He says, I swear to God, I have not had any pain in that knee since you did that treatment with me. It is gone. I says, do a squat for me. So he squats down. He says, it's a little on the tighter side, but it doesn't hurt me like it did before. I
Uh-huh.
says, that was amazing. So to me, that's like, holy crap, that's incredible. And I've never had a response like that to any type of treatment that we've ever done. Like boom, overnight. That was just one. I had
And
another lady,
you've been in practice how many years now?
42,
Okay.
42 years.
Yeah.
Now I have another woman. When I was doing stem cells a couple years back, we had stem cells in her hip and it helped her, but still not to the point where she had full range of motion. She is unable to elevate her hip past 90 degrees. That was it. She couldn't walk steps. She had a hard time. She'd go one step at a time. And she couldn't get in her car very easily because of the pain. Another another miraculous. We did one treatment with her. She gets off the table and I said, all right, elevate just to see what happened. She elevates it and it almost touches her chin with it, and her jaw drops down. And she says, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I says, I can't believe it either. I mean, I never expected that. I expected hopefully some relief, but not like
Yeah,
lifting
yeah.
up in full range of motion. Now, it was just amazing. That was just two of the other patients that we did, but I have other ones too. Fella tore an Achilles tendon. I worked on it for about 8 weeks with lasers and muscle balancing and nutrition and so forth. And he was doing very, very well, but he had a hard time in the lower end of the Achilles where it attaches to the calcaneus or the heel area.
Uh-huh.
He could not climb ladders, and that's part of his job. He couldn't climb a ladder without that pain back there. And every time he would grab that area to show me, he would wince in pain because it was just so sensitive. We put him on the table. I told him I had, this, the StemWave machine. I says, let's try this with it and see if it's of value for you. So I just basically probably did about 300 pulses
Uh-huh.
in his
Uh-huh.
Achilles tendon area. And I says, all right, we're done. And he says, all right, give it a squeeze and see what happens. So I squeezed it, and he turns around and looks at me because he's on his stomach. He says, are you squeezing it? I says, I'm squeezing it. And he gets up, he squeezes it himself. And he had to show me. He's looking at me and says, holy crap. I said, I don't feel any pain in that area. I says, are you serious? I says, do a squat. Tell me what you feel there. So he squats down. And he says, it just feels a little bit tight. But I could do a full squat now, and I wasn't able to do it because of the pulling of that tendon that he had,
Sure.
that he
Sure.
tore. So it was a partial tear. It wasn't complete
Right.
severance, but it was just a partial tear. But it was improving. But again, we couldn't get beyond a certain point of healing until we did that stem wave rather.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just pretty amazing. And I can go on with other responses that I'm getting from other patients too, and all of them are good. Not quite dramatic like those three were, but they're all improving to this stage.
Yeah, well, some of them take a little longer depending on the severity. Yeah. But you added $20,000 to your bottom line.
$20,000 in about 4 weeks. Yeah, and I'm discounting it 30%. And I'm not charging anywhere near what other guys are charging, because I know, because going to the seminars and so forth and talking with them online, I'm not charging anywhere near. But I'm going to start bumping that up in a little while, because it's work. I just wanted to make sure that, all right, is this as effective as I'm being told it is? And I wanted to introduce it. And now starting to get word of mouth referrals coming in now.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I'm getting 2 next week, actually, from some of my patients.
Oh,
and patients are just like, here, let me tell you one more I have too. This is pretty dramatic as well. I have a patient who she was walking down the steps and her leg went out. She felt a snap in her knee and she couldn't walk. She goes to the emergency room. They do an MRI on her. She tears her meniscus. They shoot her up with cortisone. A week later, she comes in for a regular chiropractic treatment. She's hobbling in. I said, what happened to you? So she tells me the story. And she said, I'm in misery. So I told her about the StemWave that I just got. She says, I want to try anything, because you know me, I like to golf, and I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to golf, because I don't want to go through surgery, and that's going to screw everything up. I says, well, let's just try this and see what happens. We do the mapping of her. We find the hot spots. And we work on her for 10 minutes. And she gets up. She looks at me. She has a big smile on her face, and she's pushing weight on it. She says, oh, my God, it's like 40% better. I swear to you, it's like 40% better. And she says, it feels warm. It feels more solid. Like I have stability there. And she's like, oh, my God, I want to do this. So she signed on right then and there. And the next time she comes in, it's better. I think we did a total of 8 sessions with her. And each session, she had less and less pain. In the very last session, she had no pain whatsoever. And she's exercising it now. This was in about 6 weeks' time. A torn meniscus clearing out in 6 weeks is unheard of. That was pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, so those are just some of the miraculous changes. Again, you don't expect that with everybody, but boy, when it happens, it's like puts a big smile on your face. I'm telling you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun.
For sure.